nice of you to show up. Hey, look, we've got Manchester Spoilers on here.
Nice.
Yeah. Richard's odd man out.
Yeah, but his hair kind of.
His hair kind of blows. Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Well, good to see everybody. I will call the Village of Beach Park board meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gus.
Here.
Trustee Jensen.
Here.
Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Addison.
Here.
Trustee Siddick.
Here.
Trustee Wells is absent. Attorney Frollo.
Here.
Mayor Hucker.
Here.
And Clerk McDonald.
All right. If you would rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Rise and shine.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. A little while ago, we had an election, and I guess we get to swear in the new trustees, which are the old trustees. Our clerk will be administering the oath of office, and I guess we'll take them in order of the agenda. So it would be first Trustee Addison, then Trustee Gust, and then Trustee Siddick. So,
And while you're doing it, I'd like to congratulate them on their landslide victory.
it was
Landslide.
it was almost as if no one else was running.
Yeah,
against
right.
them. Went and voted early. I checked the box and said, congratulations. All right. Well, I will get out of the way so you can.
I did not vote for myself. I didn't want to influence the outcome. Everyone's going to swear at me. You didn't tell me to raise my hand.
Raise your left hand. Right hand. Right. Okay. I, Mark Otterson,
I, Mark Otterson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee of the Village of Beach Park
of the office of trustee of the Village of Beach Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
All right. You did all that without his glasses on.
I was going to say according to what's left of my abilities. To the script.
That's where you sign.
Do I need to sign it? I have a pen. Do you have a pen?
I do not.
I, Richard Gus,
I, Richard Gust,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of trustee
the duties of the office of trustee
of the Village of Beach Park
of the Village of Beach Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You betcha.
You okay? You just gotta have it.
I'll stand next to you. I, Linda Siddick,
I, Linda Siddick,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of trustee
the duties of the office of trustee
of the Village of Beach Park
of Village Beach Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Mr. Cotta.
I think I just got all my signs picked up.
At least you'd leave them there for 4 years.
Aren't you going to shake his hand?
I did.
Oh,
You were
oh,
elected?
never mind.
You'd rather pick on my pink hair.
Yeah.
I zoomed in on the pink hair, so we got that covered.
Okay.
All right, we have a relatively brief agenda tonight. First up, we have public comment on agenda items. Anyone wish to address the board about any of the agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda, which tonight includes the following 3 items. Approval of the village board regular meeting minutes from April 27th. Bills presented for payment in the amount of $246,494.87. And the Community Development Monthly Report from March of 23. Is there anything that the board would have considered separately? Hearing nothing, do we have a motion
I'll
to
make that
approve?
motion.
Motion by
Second.
trustee Gus, second by trustee Miller. Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Sitt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Mayor's Report, I have one item. We have a resolution here recognizing National Public Works Week 2023, Connecting the World Through Public Works. And the resolution reads as follows. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency response, and services that are vital importance to the sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Beach Park. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of our public works professionals, who are federally mandated first responders, and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water safety, water treatment, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest of the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the Village of Beach Park to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and the public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas this year, 2023, marks the 63rd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. The theme this year is Connecting the World Through Public Works. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Beach Park does hereby formally designate May 21st through 27th, 2023 as Public Works Week in Beach Park. We pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions that they make to protect our national health, safety, and quality of life. Passed this 11th day of May 2023. Do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by trustee Gus, second by trustee Addison. Discussion. All I have to say after reading all that is amen. And to our Public Works Director and our fine staff, much appreciation as always. So, all right, roll call, please.
They make it look easy, don't they?
They do.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Sitt.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Moving on to reports from trustees. First up, Finance Committee, Trustee Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. All I have to is a reminder that our next meeting is the 23rd, 6 p.m. upstairs.
Okay. Moving on, Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gust.
No report tonight, Your Honor.
Okey doke. Hair's almost not pink anymore,
Very close.
but
Matches my shirt almost.
I think I had the 38th of May, so I think we're good.
So you might win.
I might win. Yep. Planning, zoning, building, Trustee Wells is absent, and I'm not aware of anything on his committee's behalf. Moving to Public Relations, Intergovernmental Committee, Trustee Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just have a kind of a public relations, sort of a heads up to the residents. We received at our house this week another one of these solicitations, I guess, from it says utility company. It says right at the top, utility company ComEd. This is definitely not from ComEd. This is a company called Clean Energy, and they're trying to solicit people to switch their energy supply. People really, please read it carefully. Down at the bottom, it asks everybody, if they're going to make this switch, to supply their account number from ComEd. So not only are you being asked to supply that information, but they want you to sign and date and put your email. And in reading over some of the other documentation, I noticed that if in fact anybody goes ahead and does sign this, it also includes an automatic contract renewal. So if if you're not on top of it, and you could just fall by the wayside, and it's just going to continue over indefinitely.
Yep.
So please be aware, these are not any type of programs that are endorsed by the village. We are not related to them in any way, shape, or form, but the way they present this information, it's kind of misleading, to say the least.
Yep.
So, buyer beware.
Yep.
But it's nothing to do with the village.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Thank
my report.
Up next, Public Safety Committee, Trustee Siddick.
Thank you. I just have one item that I wanted to share with the public. And this is through the Beach Park Fire Department. They'll be holding their First Responders Expo, which will be Saturday, May 20th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., parking lot E over at Gurney Mills.
Okay.
And from what I am understanding here, it's a fire safety expo, law enforcement expo. This is a family-friendly, event-filled activity. They'll have food, fire safety tips, squad cars, demonstrations, and giveaways.
Cool.
So that sounds kind of fun for anyone who could be interested. And then I just would like to thank the residents for taking time out of their busy schedules to get out and cast a ballot. And I just wanted to say thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Cool.
And that's all I have.
All right then. Public Works, Trustee Otterson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will just, on top of what Linda just said, she was the number one vote getter out of this popularity contest that we had in April. So
I can't help it, Mark.
Okay, I'm sorry. The only thing I would like to say is that we are in the middle of spring cleanup in the village. On last Saturday, we had the west side of town, Lewis Avenue West. Pat says it went well. Not a lot of crying or shouting. Filled several dumpsters with tires and a couple with recyclable electronics at the Public Works facility, where people are instructed to take things if they have the things that won't get picked up by the trucks. This remind me the timing of the paper shredder. That was Saturday, right? Oh, that was last Saturday? I thought it was. It's this Saturday, right. Do you remember what time? 1:30 to 4. I didn't write it down. Okay, but anyways, that's the one time we do that, and it's a good service. They you can bring a whole lot of stuff, and they chop it up quickly. So that's kind of nice. We usually save things to bring over, like campaign paperwork and things like that. We have to, anyways. All right, but thanks to the Public Works guys, they worked at the facility for the people bringing the extra things, and they'll be there again this Saturday. So hopefully this weekend goes well too. That completes the report.
Thank you very much. We had no TIF committee meeting, so there's nothing to report from the TIF meeting. Any additional staff reports to?
The paper shredding's 1:30 to 4:30 on Saturday.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have no old business on the agenda. Is there any new business to come before the board tonight? All right. Now it's time for citizens wishing to address the board to come up to the podium and state your name and state your case.
Hello again, Alan Hutchison, 12762 West Beach. I sent you guys an email this week. Actually, a couple of emails since the last meeting, but the last one with some pictures from this weekend, just documenting some of the issues, woes, headaches that we've got going on. Were you all able to take a look at that? You see those pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that were large, of the trail cam or whatever.
Yeah.
Some reason every time I tried to open those, that crashed my workstation and my phone. So
Interesting.
just so you know.
Well, I encourage you to come out and take a look at that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the purpose is or whether it was properly permitted, but the park district has erected a camera in the beach park right away. It's 6 feet south of the edge of pavement.
What are, I
What are they?
saw that.
What
and
are they filming?
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. Us. I was hoping that it was properly permitted. If not, I'd like to see it taken down.
Yeah.
So it is. I measured it is 6 feet off the south edge of the pavement in a tree, and they drilled into the tree and they put a solar panel up in there to power the camera. But it's absolutely a cellular trail cam like you'd track deer with up north.
Yeah.
It's not a permanent camera. So
Do we know they did it? for
yes,
sure?
there's a sign next to it that says, "Look at this
Oh.
camera now." After I pointed it out.
Oh, okay.
And I actually spoke to one of the maintenance of way people from the park district who is adjusting it to see further down the road. So it's definitely their
Okay.
camera.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
oh,
And
it's,
we've heard nothing, staff level in this. Okay.
I mean, I know in Beach Park you need a temporary signage permit to display a sign in the right of way. I got to imagine that there's a provision for having a surveillance device.
Yeah.
If it's even
I'm
allowed.
not really sure what I guess we'll have to ask the specifics there to find out what they're doing. And
Sure. They could share the link and we could watch it too.
yeah, I'd like to believe that maybe their board decided they'd like to see firsthand what's going on. Of course, my suggestion would be see it firsthand. but,
Sure.
Your photos are telling, as always, of
One of the comments that were made in the last zoning meeting is that my photos were strategically taken and that I was blowing out of proportion what was going on over there.
Hmm.
And they wanted to gain their own evidence to disprove what I was saying.
there you go.
So potentially that's what's going on. But
Maybe that is it.
even if that's the case, I don't know that me being able to take the photos that I take ever is acceptable. I don't
Right.
think that it is. I think that that's still wildly out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you indicated that there was traffic backups on Green Bay Road, and that's
It was really bad.
That's
In
not
fact,
healthy.
I saw that too.
I wrote that in the email too. Saturday was we were celebrating my son's 10th birthday, and it was my wife and I's wedding anniversary as well. And I left in the morning to try to be nice, to go get some coffee and some other things to come back. And it was 30 solid minutes before I could get back to my house. I couldn't get back on the road, neither from the Green Bay side or even from the other side. So it was 30 actual minutes. And I wasn't the only one either. I actually have a text message from the new owner of the property to the west of me at 12810. His name is Chris Jastrom. I know he wanted to come tonight, but I think he had a conflict. But he said, feel free to include me as having a complaint, including the inability to get to my own house at 9 a.m. on Saturday and people driving through my yard. There were 7 cars lined up behind my wife in the time that it took her to go from our driveway to the stop sign at 2 p.m. Insane. He said, I support the one-way idea for now, hoping it's painful for them to enter so that they build an entrance, referring to the park. Then we can eventually eliminate the beach road entrance and access altogether. So it's another person who bought a house and is basically having an ownership stake in Beach Park that already has a distaste for what we have going on.
right.
So not ideal.
Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, just a couple of notes that the birthday thing, unable to get back, the camera that's there. I would very much like to see us look into that and see the legality of that, because I for one don't particularly like being filmed without the ability to see what's going on or see what it's for. So
Yep.
I did notice, not 100% sure what happened, but the gate that separates the Park District's western service road, the one that's on the west side of the creek, somebody went through that like Dukes of Hazzard style and blew that gate clean off its hinges. So I don't know if that was the park or what's going on, but for somebody, it was like a gate that swings over the road. It's probably a 4x4 or something, and it is broken clean off. So somebody hit that thing hard. Definitely probably more than 30 miles an hour hard. So I guess the real question is, and I keep getting this question from all the residents, all the neighbors that keep texting me, is when can we implement a change?
Right.
We've submitted that plan to turn the road into a one-way, and one of the comments that was made to me from the newest neighbor, Chris, was he was interested to know why there wasn't an agenda item bringing this up for vote to see if this is something that we can get implemented immediately.
We're still working with our fine legal counsel, and there's, as you know, there's been allegations made on lacking any documentation of things in the past, et cetera. So we're doing our due diligence right now. So I don't have a lot to add to your comments tonight, other than
Sure.
it's not laying dormant. It's just,
Sure. We would definitely like to get to a point where we could develop a date that we
Yeah.
can work towards. I know that's tough to put a time frame on it for you guys, but there is an amount of agitation over there that's getting worse.
Sure.
And
Sure.
my fear is that it's going to boil over at some point. It's going to be a problem that it's going to be way worse than what we have right
Sure.
now. I will make another comment towards what you're talking about, the allegation that basically the park district, the park district paved that road, and then they expect that they have the ability to do whatever they want on it forever. But if that is truly the case, then they must have documentation to back that up. And since they've already told us that they have no documentation
Right.
and no meeting minutes and no proof of anything that transpired there, because they don't want to prove that they don't have that ability. And
Right.
I've asked them for this directly too. I've asked them for any documentation. I've searched the internet. I've gone
Yep.
through old records all the way back to 2009 when they were just talking about it at a conceptual level. I've even filed in the past. I've filed Freedom of Information Act requests at the park district to try and ascertain those documents, and they don't exist.
Right.
It's, as far as the park is saying, they don't exist. So magically, if they come up with a document now that says that they have the ability to do whatever they want on that road, my assumption is that it's fabricated.
right.
So,
Right.
but okay.
All
Well,
right.
Yep, that's where I'm at. So again, as always, I'm going to continue to send pictures over, and we'll
If
continue
you
to
do,
document.
however
but-
you sent them last, I couldn't, I saw 2 trail cam pictures.
Yeah.
If they were stacked behind that, I didn't see them. I couldn't.
Yeah, the problem is that I think the village's email only allows you guys to receive 25 megabytes worth of information at one
You
time.
could share it like Dropbox or Flickr or some other,
It was shared in a Google Dropbox,
yeah.
and that was a link that I had sent you. So I could send those 2 pictures back over one at a time so you can see them.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to drive down the road. You
Yep.
can't miss it. It's literally overhanging the road, and now there's a blue and white sign underneath
Well,
it.
I gathered from the text of the email that there were other photographs attached to those, or
There,
not?
there were 2 photographs of the camera
The
system.
traffic
There
one?
were pictures.
Oh, yeah, there were.
There's
Traffic.
5
They-
pictures of the
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
Were they in the, see, all I saw was two trail cam pictures.
Oh, yeah, there were 2. There was 2 pictures from my driveway looking east and west with solid cars from as far as you could see in either direction. And then there was 1 picture from the corner of Beach and Bayonne, which is where the entrance to the park is, looking east towards Green Bay Road. And there are cars all the way to Green Bay Road and backed up onto Green Bay Road. Hundreds
Oh, I
of
don't,
cars.
I don't doubt it. I just,
They-
I
Yeah, yeah.
just want to let you know that technology is not working for me anyway.
Sure.
Don, the additional photos were embedded in the text of the email as opposed to.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So if you've got
I know.
anything that's stopping you from downloading pictures or things on emails, it might be that.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Sure.
What happens if there's a fire and there's 2 solid? What do
Well, I
how
can
do
answer.
they get in?
I can answer that question pretty reliably, actually, because we've had many instances where injuries have been sustained in the
Yeah.
park,
Yeah.
and they're trying to get an ambulance into the park. And what happens is either the ambulance cannot reach the park, that's option 1, or option 2 is what happens is everybody that's stacked on that road drives into our yards. There
Yeah.
is nowhere to go on the south side because there's a very steep drop off into
Right.
Ditch.
the drainage ditch right there.
Who provides
And-
the ambulance service? Is that Waukegan or Newport or who?
So I'm not 100% sure how that works. We do have the fire station that's adjoined to the airport, and that's typically who responds to the sports park, which I believe is a Waukegan facility. But it makes sense since it's the Waukegan Park. But
It's in their corporate limits, so it probably would be that station.
along what you're talking about, Trustee Miller, it's very difficult to access. It is if there were a fire or there were an emergency on that road, and during one of those times, the people that were having the emergency would be screwed.
I
It'd
would
be
think the
SOL.
emergency providers would have an interest in this
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
getting resolved.
Yep.
That sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
So, no, that's a good question.
Yep.
All right. Is that the only one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yep.
Alan.
We'll be in touch.
Thanks,
Please,
Alan.
please stay on it. So
Will do.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you guys doing today? It's Ron Tavers. So I wanted to thank the board. We've made some complaints about not having a stop sign on Wallman and Garrity. The guys put up a temporary radar sign, which is slowed and fixed a little bit of it. Since that's been there though, and I'll send a video of it tonight, we've had 2 accidents still. I actually have a video of the guy driving through the stop sign at 10, or through the area going southbound on Garrity and driving into an 800-pound boulder, which I have on the corner, and hitting our the bush and the boulder and bouncing off and continuing down Malman. So I appreciate the help. I mean, it does. I mean, we do appreciate it, and you know, it's much needed, and everybody in the neighborhood is actually very much appreciated having it there. So it's helped, and but it's like I said, it's continued.
Yeah. If they won't stop for a boulder, what?
Well, the video literally shows them coming because I got the 2 cameras and coming down, and all of a sudden you just see it smack the boulder and push the boulder back 6 feet.
Oh man.
And if it wouldn't have hit the boulder, it would have hit the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
And then it would have, and then they drive through the ditch and take off. So I'll send it over, but I just, you know, my biggest thing is there's a lot of little kids in our neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
You know, and look, good thing it was at 10 o'clock at night. So, but the thing is it turns into a racetrack and a speed track, you know, whenever, especially, a lot lately right there on Sheridan near, York House, we've had a lot of emergencies. There's a elderly couple that live on the other side and a disabled gentleman that lives there. So they've been stopping Sheridan Road right there. So then all of a sudden that's the bypass for everything to go through. So I just wanted to thank you guys for, you know, attempting to help out, and that's it.
Did your video footage show the license plate number or not?
No, but I will have the license plate number because I've found a pattern that every night at 10 o'clock it passes by.
Okay.
So it's a white Chevy pickup.
And it probably
Obviously,
has
front end damage.
some damage from the boulder.
Yeah.
They
So,
usually
yep.
leave their
I'll,
mark.
I'll have it shortly.
Did you wait? Did you put the boulder back?
I pulled it back a couple feet. Yeah.
Only because I'm concerned about the fire hydrant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so me and my wife complain about the bush on the corner all the time because when we come to the stop sign, you can't see left.
Right.
But the only thing stopping the people from running into my house is a boulder and a bush. So, I mean, I can cut the bush down and I'm just gonna have to put a bunch of boulders up.
More boulders.
More boulders. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Anyone else wish to address the board tonight? Well, appreciate y'all coming, and your comments are certainly welcomed.
I just have a comment for the
Yes.
deputy. Speaking of stop signs, last night about 7 PM, I was at the stop sign intersection of North Avenue and Beach, and a driver was coming. I was on North Avenue waiting to cross Beach, and someone came from the east, blew completely through that stop sign. You know, that stop sign now has been there a long time.
Yeah.
That the 4-way intersection stop might be another place to take a look at some point. And if anybody had started to pull out
Yeah.
after they came to a stop, there would have been a terrible accident.
Tight
right there.
quarters right there.
Stop signs aren't what they used to be.
I
No.
think we put the new ones up there. if I
Suggestions.
recall,
Yeah, we
the-
did.
The better reflective ones too.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
apparently.
Merely a suggestion. All right. We have no cause tonight for an executive session.
Well, Mayor,
Yes.
if that's the case, it'd be my privilege to offer a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.